So, Leafs Nation, happy Friday, I guess. How are we feeling? Um, so Shanahan and MLSE, Toronto Maple Leafs, have let go of Kyle Dubas. Jason Spezza, before Brendan Shanahan's press conference, handed in his resignation. The Marlies coaching staff are all gone. Surely. That means, I'm guessing, with a new GM, Keith and company are all gone, which, is fine with Keith leaving. But the craziest thing, or not even the craziest thing, it's just what's going to happen. And this is how I perceive the whole thing. So, Brendan Shanahan's press conference, right? He talks about not wanting Dubas to go in front of the media during their media scrum, their exit interviews and all that stuff. He does anyway. He's straight up honest with the media, in my opinion. That's how I take it. It's hard on his family. He has to talk to his family. Fair play to you, Kyle. It takes a few days to do so. Again, life-altering decision. Or not even life-altering, like this impacts them for the foreseeable and distant future. Takes some days. And what happens? Brendan Shanahan gets some cold feet. Doesn't like what Kyle Dubas says when he just opens up the heart and tells everyone what it's like. Thank you, Chris Johnson, for asking that question. That gave Shanahan doubts. Shanahan talks about it. He hasn't heard from him for a few days. They still offered him the contract. Dubas comes back asking for more money. He wants a little bit more power, some autonomy. Fair play to him. He doesn't want Shanahan breathing down his neck. He wants to just be himself and do his thing, and I'm all cool with it. That's what I would be anyway. Shanahan, gets little cold feet waiting. And he gets upset because I think someone said, oh, well, my gosh. Someone left Shanahan on red, and he got upset. And then he threw his dummy out of the pram. He took his ball and went home. And then he kicked the ball because it wasn't even his. And that ball is Kyle Dubas. It's like, get out of here. You made me wait. You asked for more money because you've done such a good job. And I've literally said that in this press conference, how great you've done, how great of an offseason you had, a trade deadline. You've been excellent. But no. You want a little bit more power? You want some of my power? Get out of here. We don't want you anymore. So it took you a year to figure this out. Trade deadline, you were ready to offer him. Dubas said, just hold on. End of the season, same contract ready there. Dubas emailed you and said, I want to be the Leafs GM. After that, you slept on it and decided, I'm going to go a different direction. That's scary. That's old Leafs mentality. That is rash decisions mentality that got the Leafs in trouble before. Well, we need to, kick up a little bit of a storm. Everyone's too comfortable. We didn't mean like this. Oh, no, Brendan. Brendan, it's been 9 years for you. You probably should be the one getting the can with Keefe. Let Dubas work. Instead, you kick him to the curb. Then you get frickin' James Myrtle talking or tweeting out that Brad Treliving? Frickin' the guy who traded Kachuk for Huberdeau and Uyghur. Kachuk is in the Eastern Conference Final, dominated. Just scored the Game 1 quadruple OT game winner over Carolina. Had 9 points this year. The guy who buggered up Goudreau as well. You're talking about he could be the next GM. You got the Hunter brothers could be. You get that from Merrick, but no, it's Merrick. Who gives a real care about him? And then you got Myrtle tweeting out that Austin Matthews and Kyle Dubas are really close. Uh-oh. Shanahan and Prenham are going to have to work together to figure out Marner, Nylander, Matthews. He even said in his press conference that those two are going to have to work together in the meantime to sort stuff out. while they're on their search. Then you got the guy who, Dubas was like grooming to be assistant GM or do something. He's whatever his title was in Jason Spezza, and Spezza goes, he's gone, I'm gone. And now apparently behind the scenes, upper management, the organization, it's an uproar. You got Mike Stevens tweeting it, you got Myrtle tweeting it, and you're just like, oh, no. Chaos has started again because someone got left on red for a little bit. I changed my mind after a 15-minute press conference. Really? I slept on it. You slept on it? Just one sleep? You Mark Wahlberg sleep about 3 hours? Feel like Dubas came back, got the contract, and goes, no, I'm worth more money. I should be paid the most in the league. Fair play to him. Look what he's done through the system. And he goes, and I want a little bit more power. I want some autonomy, and that's what I want. That's what I deserve. And Brendan Shanahan goes, I don't like that. So, no, you're taking some of my power. Get out of here. And he didn't even sound confident in the press conference. Shanahan. And I'm worried. Like, what is he going to name himself for now? This is scary. Is Austin Matthews going to resign? Brendan Shanahan is helping orchestrate what's going to happen with Marner, Nylander, and Matthews going forward. He's going to have to figure out this whole Matt Murray thing. But Trey Living, I'm sorry, I don't think he's the guy to do it. And then you've got Gary Bettman mentioning that he's going to meet with Joel Quenneville. Are you serious? Are we going to get Brad Trey Living as our GM and Joel Quenneville as our head coach for next year? If this happens, I'm not going to lie. I think it's just the Leafs are going to they're blowing it up. If Austin Matthews doesn't get signed on July 1st, we're losing him. He's not signing this year. I'll tell you that right now. And this is just me, speaking from the heart as a Leafs fan. Nylander? Dubas already had to trade some of his friends. What happens now? Mitchie? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen. I created a list of everything Toronto should do, and it was like extend Dubas, replace Keefe with Boudreau, get Matthews and Nylander signed, look at options for Marner, but if they're not good enough to what you need, you keep on it, you hold on to them, you keep them. You sign Achari, you sign Camp, you say bye to Bunting because you can't afford him. O'Reilly, even though you do want him, you try to sign him. He's probably going back to St. Louis. I had this list, and now I don't think I can make a video on that list because I don't think even a quarter of those things are going to happen. And it starts with Austin Matthews. I'm nervous that he's not going to sign. Him and Dubas were tight. He was in this process the whole time. Dubas made this workplace environment that fit these personalities, and I know it's like you need a little bit of a shake-up. I meant coaching, not throw the whole front office out of the way. Spezza and Dubas, congratulations on taking over the Ottawa Senators, and Snoop Dogg is now your part owner. Dubas sent to Ottawa, Spezza going to be his assistant GM, and that's how it's going to work. But we know it. It's going to happen now. Dubas can walk back those comments saying Leafs or no one. Sens will be like, here's some money. Thank you very much. And that's what's going to happen. And he's got a decent young team to sort it out. That's what's going to happen there, right there. Point it. But with this, I do not know. I do not know. I'm a nervous Leafs fan. And for a long weekend, we got to deal with this. And, at least, if anything, it's exciting. No, it's not exciting. It's scary. It's going to be interesting. We'll stick with that. It is going to be an interesting offseason. It's going to be an interesting few days. Shanahan literally, within a couple hours of him napping on it, decided I'm not going to sign Dubas, and now I got to find a new GM. Oh, yeah. And I've got a month to figure out how I'm going to sign Austin Matthews. Okay, I know Austin has another year, but let's be honest, this is the deadline, right? You don't want to lose him for nothing. So you have to figure out how you're going to sign Matthews. I don't know if will they sign Willie? He's not going to sign. I don't think he would have signed even if Dubas was here. Not as in now. I think he would have waited a little bit. Have another great season, get another mill or two. Be at what, 10 million at least. Marner, what do you do with him? You've got another year before he can sign his extension. You have to trade him before July 1st, and you don't have Dubas, and you have to figure out who your GM is, and I don't know. You don't have time. Carolina's in the playoffs. You're not going to get Tulsky to be your GM now. Is Prinham going to be your GM? Well, he kind of is now with Shanahan, and I have no idea what Toronto's going to do. What do you guys think? Is this like in Kyle Dubas era, this 5 years? Like any other team would be like, here's another 5. Let's see what you can do. Our record in points was 105 with you as the AGM. And then when you became the GM, you set new records, and your points per season average was 106, which was better than the previous record that you had set the year before as the assistant GM. I'm at a loss. This isn't what I expected to happen. Not at all. I thought the next big thing was Kyle extends, might get a new coach. Shanahan might step down. Kyle becomes president and GM. And Austin Matthews signs, I don't know, 12.7 to 13 million over 8 years, and he's the highest paid NHL player. But that didn't happen. I think the dark days are back. I saw a tweet. It's the Joey Crab Coolman era. Can it make a return? Oh, I hope not. We still have Riley, Matthews, Nylander, Marner. But for how long? And what's this new GM going to do when they make their statement? Can Shanahan re-sign them? He's lost faith. It's blowing up. The dark days are here. We're in the end game now. I wonder what's going to happen.